welcome to the first episode of FDK the Podcast, where we talk about relationships, dating, online dating, with an emphasis on the most important date, which is the first date. And we're going to give it to you from a male's point of view.
Again, a female's perspective.
And hopefully we'll learn some things. You'll learn some things. We'll work through some of our traumas and some of my real life dating experiences. Because I'm out here to struggle right now with you guys, putting all this knowledge to work. My name is Corey. Co-host is the lovely Takeisha. All right, so what we're going to be talking about today is we're going to be talking about, waiting. Would you date someone that's waiting to get married? You know what that means?
No. Would you date someone that wants to wait to have sex until they're married?
Correct. And we'll go ahead. First of all,
Go ahead. What's the male's perspective?
First, we're going to understand, why do you think women are waiting to have sex until marriage?
Well, there are various reasons. It can be for religious purposes. It can be just literally they want to savor that moment. You know, they want to make sure that they're giving something unique and special to that person that they end up with. There are various reasons why people would wait. I don't claim to understand them all, but at the end of the day, nor can I relate to them all, but I understand the whole concept. So yeah.
Okay. And I've heard men saying they want to wait as well. And a lot of these guys, most of them are waiting to get married. Some of them are probably just waiting because they had so many bad experiences and sex really has ruined the situation. I myself do prefer to wait before having sex with a woman until we have established some type of level of non-sexual intimacy, and then we'll go into the sex.
Okay, so what is classified as non-sexual intimacy according to you?
Which is a very hard thing to do. I'm learning these days that I would have thought that men, no, I'm not saying men, I would, before going to this journey, I would have thought that women are very open and easy to create a level of intimacy before physical intimacy. And no, a lot of women struggle with.
But you still haven't told me or told us, what is this level of intimacy? What is that to you?
To me,
or from a male's perspective, what is a level of intimacy before you start to have sex?
I would say, first of all, is building a level of trust, building a level of openness, which allowing us to have a level of vulnerability. Because in my opinion, far too many people, men and women, are quick to get nude, but slow to get naked. And so whenever you create that level of intimacy, I promise you, especially for a guy's point of view, if you're able to get a woman to open up and have a true level of non-sexual intimacy, when it comes time for you guys to have the actual physical intimacy, it is much easier to get her to climax 3 to 4 times during sex.
I disagree.
I'm just telling you. Once I started waiting to do this, women having multiple orgasms 3 or 4 times during sex has been working like clockwork.
You know women lie, right? And women fake.
Men lie, women lie, but their body don't. That shake don't. When that leg starts shaking and that toe starts curling.
Well, then that's true.
And then these church girls start swearing in the name of Jesus. They ain't saying Jesus, but certain things you can't fit. Certain things you can't
Listen,
fit.
I'm with you on the level of intimacy that you described. I do believe that's crucial and important for that arousal to take place. I get it, got a good arousal and that climax, right? But I don't necessarily agree that it's completely necessary for a person to be totally naked, because then you got to ask yourself, are you looking for a relationship? Because that's the language I was looking for you to go towards when you talk about the intimacy. Is the goal towards a relationship, the finality, which we were talking about, the whole waiting for sex when you get married?
I mean, it's all a relationship. This is a relationship.
Yeah.
Me and your mama is a relationship.
Yeah.
Me and your brother's relationship. You and your patient is a relationship.
Yeah.
It's all relationships, but different relationships have different parameters. So it's all a relationship. But I do understand your point. Yes, being in a relationship. Yes, being in a relationship. But like I said, for myself, I'm someone who will wait until I'm in a relationship to do that for a couple of major reasons. Because right now my biological clock is ticking hard.
Same here. Go ahead.
and my wanting to procreate is serious. This urge is serious.
Oh God! I just had this whole conversation earlier today. Go ahead.
Okay, so for right now, if I'm having sex with a woman right now, that means that
pull-out game is gonna be weak.
Yeah. First of all, I'm no longer the pull-out champ. So we're not gonna play this game anymore. So it means that if we are going there, that means that I'm ready to dedicate the next 25 years to you.
That's wrong.
So for me, I prefer to wait before having sex with somebody until, like I said, first we establish some type of level of intimacy. Before that, we get to know each other better, and that way we can make a good decision that we're the right person. Because what I've been learning that if we have sex too early, we all become victims of STDs. That's sexually transmitted disguises, not diseases. Sexually transmitted.
I've never heard this one. Go ahead,
disguises.
Elaborate.
Okay, well, STD, sexually transmitted disguise. Have you ever been with a guy and he just put the work in? I mean, he and it just like and you sitting there just like,
the digmatized. Okay,
yes,
go ahead.
Yes, and so things that you probably would have you probably would have seen, you're not seeing,
not put up with. Go ahead.
And you're making excuses and way too many allowances, and before you know, you find yourself in a bad situation, or you find yourself in a 25-year commitment.
I like that. Sexually transmitted disguise. Yes. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Keep going.
So to help avoid that, like I said, I'm trying to be naked first and then nude second.
Okay. When you put it that way, I think we think the same.
Okay.
Believe it or not.
Okay.
We think the same. My perspective is that I personally don't believe in waiting until you get married, because I just don't want to be set up with someone that I'm not sexually compatible with. So even though we may have that level of intimacy where it gets to the point where you think that this is the one, you cannot fake sexual compatibility. I'm sorry. You cannot. We can get along just fine. I can love you to the moon and back, but when sex, okay. For me, sex is important. For some women, sex is not important. And so they'll just take the hugs and the kisses and the foreplay and the fact and the affection, everything that you will do, but they don't necessarily care about the sex, which is why I will say many women lie, and so hence you guys think that you're doing stuff. For me, sex is really, really important. Now, it's not something you're going to get right off the break with me, but if it's something that I choose to share with you, at the end of the day, I'm like you. I'm looking for that long-term goal. I'm not looking for no hit it and quit it, which is why by default I have been celibate. Not by choice. Not by choice.
So would you, okay, well, you said you already wouldn't, but I've heard this
I'm not waiting by choice.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, so we're clear.
But
not for religious reasons.
How would you feel about, let's just say you were waiting, and you met a guy and he said, okay, I'm cool with waiting, but I'm going to have sex with other people until we decide to start having
that's
sex.
not flying with me.
Why not?
That's not flying with me, because that means that you're giving a part of yourself to someone else. And that always opens up that door for your heart to then go to that person. So no.
What if he's paying for it each and every single time?
Did you say pay for it?
If he's paying for it.
Hold on, what do you mean by pay for it? We talking about prostitution? Like, what are you talking about here?
There are some men that choose to pay for help. And
I'm not co-signing that.
And so
I'm not co-signing
that way he's not catching any feelings, because it's a business trend. It's like
no. I'm not co-signing that.
Okay.
Did you like the bunny ranch? You just gonna hop to Vegas every chance you get? Like, no, sir. No.
I'm just saying.
I would never co-sign that, because even in those situations where you think that you're controlling the variable, you still cannot. You cannot. Like, honestly, I know what it feels like to, as I describe, stigmatized, as you call STD. I am a victim of that. I have experienced that once in my life. Okay. And once that has happened to me, I personally made a choice that, I would eliminate the sex before anything and, yada, yada. I just wanted to figure out a person first before I got that. I realized, and this is when you have to look at yourself. Mm-hmm. I realized that I cannot be intimate with somebody unless I feel an emotional connection. Sex to me is an emotional connection. It's an emotional expression. And so if I'm not feeling you, I don't want to be caught up because you done laid it right or you done did X, Y, Z. Now we're going to take it several steps back. You're talking about if you end up paying for it.
Yeah.
If the sex is good, there are variables that you cannot control, and your mind may say, "Oh, just because you paid her, that means that they're lies." But do you know how many?
Not for a man. I have to. No,
sir,
for a man.
Do you know how many? I'm gonna go there. Paid workers have become wives nowadays because these men got caught up in the cause. No. It was supposed to be a transactional exchange.
That means that man has he got it, because when they say if you got it, you ain't tricking. that means, keep in mind, that means every time that you go to get it in, you got to drop $200 to $500. And most men, they're cool with that here and there.
I'm not co-signing that.
But if a dude is dropping $500 every single time, more than likely he's like, yo, I want to drop the $500 with a new one. And the $500, I'm not going to keep paying the same female over and over and over. But I do not condone sex trafficking on any level.
Neither one of us do.
I'm just stating the point that I've heard men say that they are okay with dating women who want to wait. But at the same time, they're like, well, shoot, if we're not having sex, I don't, from time to time, it should be okay for them to, from time to time, to get that itch scratched until you're ready. And like, I personally know a guy who dated a girl for almost 2 years because she's waiting to get married. And he made sure that they were never in a full-blown monogamous relationship. She asked a couple times, and he was like, "Yo, I think everything's ready." Somehow he finessed it to they were never.
That's the word. I like the word. Go ahead.
Never into
finesse
a monogamous relationship, and
game.
Hey, it worked.
It worked for them.
Yeah, and they end up getting.
I cannot speak for all women, but I will make it clear. I do believe that majority of the women will not be cool with the guy wanting to make her wait while he's out there entertaining someone else.
No. She's making him wait, and so since she's making him,
but again, I get that. So but he's still out there entertaining other people. There's that small possibility that you can somehow get a connection to someone else. That is too risky. I don't think a woman. Okay, let me back up, because there are women out there that would subject themselves to anything to not be alone. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, a lot of people want companionship, and they will take it at whatever level they can get it on. I just think that most women don't want that in that way.
Okay.
Meaning the openly sharing way.
I think for the next time we do the episode, I'm going to put a table here so we can kind of grab our drinks and I'm not going to lie to you right now. I do have a drink right now. I am drinking high quality H2O provided to us by the city of Washington, D.C. But I think next time we put a table here so we can have some refreshments.
I got you.
Malibu. Okay. All right. So let's go into. So we both wouldn't do it. So I'd like to know from you guys in the comments below. I'll definitely respond to the comments. Is that, do you believe two things? Do you believe in waiting to have sex before you get married, and the reason why? It'd be good. We should have called my brother, because my brother is,
I will say this again.
A big component of
I don't have a problem with anyone waiting until marriage. As I stated to you, we started this conversation a little bit earlier, but I made it very clear. If that's something that we mutually agree on about, let's wait until marriage to have sex. I made it very clear. I have to sample at least once. I cannot be with somebody because sex is how I express how I feel. And so I cannot.
So physical touch is one of your love languages.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It is.
True story. Prior to this happening to me, I would have said sex is not a major part of a relationship. Prior to this situation, I was in my last relationship, which is one of the best relationships that I ever had. Because I got it all right.
Did you say best or baddest?
Best.
Okay.
Because I got it all right from day one all the way to the end. everything was rolling. Everything was going right. We had fun together. We built a good friendship. She liked my family. I got
What happened?
I got along with her family. She was actually allowing me to create intimacy before we actually have sex, allowing that. And so we traveled together. Everything was going great. Someone I could talk to, good friendship, but I was not sexually attracted to her.
See, do you realize how much time was wasted with that?
And prior to
do
that,
you realize how much time was wasted with that?
I tried. I even spoke to my daddy to the point where I was like, Dad, my dad was like, core sex and everything, you get to a point like we have any sex,
Shit,
but
I
was like,
I want to be a senior citizen in a nursing home getting it on. Hello?
now keep in mind, the person tells me that after 50 years of marriage, they still have sex 3 times a week.
So he told you, don't he?
Yeah,
okay,
and I was just like, and it was like, Mom was like, you can't have it all 80-20, but I'm like, man, this is big. And the old me would have been like, all right, let me just, because I was like, is it not working? Like, I'm getting older. I was like, what's going on? And part of me wanted to, all right, step out on the side to make sure that it wasn't us. But I couldn't do it. She was too much of a sweetheart. Plus, I didn't think that, I didn't really think that I was going to marry her. So between that and the sex just not adding up, I had to tell her, like, look, I release you from this commitment so you can go find someone to have children with and to risk your life with.
Thank you for releasing her. Go ahead.
I can't go. And then the first chance I get, I made sure if we were working and we were working, as soon as he walked in the door, he was like, yo, dog, can't nobody slang like Anaheim Junior. And so I was like, we good. It wasn't me. It's just what it is. So I don't think sex is everything, but I do agree that sexual compatibility is a big component of a relationship because, again, I know for me, at the end of the day, when life is kicking my ass, I want to go hide there for a little bit.
Yeah. You and I both.
Regenerate.
So again, I must reiterate, I'm not celibate by choice. I just know that for me, because that's how I convey how I feel, I don't want to get caught up with the wrong person.
I got you.
Yeah.
So like I said, let us know in the comments below what you guys think. If you are waiting to get married to have sex, if you're not waiting to get married to have sex, next question is, would you date someone that is waiting for marriage or would you not? And the biggest thing I'd like to know is, why are you waiting to have sex before you get married? Hit us in the comments. We'll definitely go over that.
I want to hear this. I'm curious what the audience has to say. Do the women agree with me? And again, if you're waiting for marriage, not a problem. No judgment, sis. No judgment. I'm here with you to support you. But at the end of the day, that's just not my choice.
Okay, and let's finish off with which is my favorite segment. You can tell me how you feel about these. This is the time to go for the first date commandments. That's right, the first date commandments. This is a list of commandments that I came up with that I feel is very, very important, very, very crucial to help men and women create enough chemistry on the first date to get you to the second date. And the first commandment is always be prepared. So rule number 1 is always be prepared. And I say that meaning that you never know what's going to happen on the first date. So you want to try to cover as much of the unknown, planning everything out. You want to have everything planned because in my opinion, when you're out on a date, fellas, if anything goes wrong, to her, it's our fault. If the food is bad, it's a ding on our chemistry. If there's a low in conversation, it's a ding on our chemistry. If the lines are too long, it's a ding on our chemistry. If I get there late, because ding on my chemistry. If I don't even know what really is going on, you're gonna ding me on chemistry. So always be prepared for anything. And one of the ways for me to help be prepared is I like to do the same first date over and over and over. I got 3 or 4 first dates that I'll do these dates over and over and over. So that way I know everything that's going on, and all I have to do is worry about making sure I develop enough chemistry for that you want to go out with me second date. Do you agree or not disagree with my first rule? always be prepared?
I don't think how you can always be prepared, but I guess if you're an overthinker and you keep doing stuff through repetition, anything is possible. The same date.
I said 3 or 4.
Over and over again.
I got 3 or 4. I got 3 or 4 go-tos. I have 3 or 4 go-tos that I'm okay with doing over and over. I don't have a problem.
I'm not mad at you. Because it's no different than when somebody says, oh, I want to go to the movies, or I want to go to a restaurant. The only thing that changes is just the location, or the movie, or maybe it's the same movie. So again, I don't really have a problem with that.
Okay, awesome. Hey, let us know in the comments below if you agree with this with my first date rule, number 1, which is always be prepared. That way, you can help increase your chances of getting to the second date.
Second date's important.
Not more important than the first one. And like I said, I got a bunch of these things. I've been dating my ass off. So trust me. When I tell you guys, I've gone on dates to try some stuff to see if it does work. And I've gone on dates to make sure things don't work. So like, for instance, I've showed up 15 minutes late on purpose one time just to see how that would affect the date. And trust me, 15 minutes late on a date is not a good date.
No, it's not. Women don't like to wait. Sorry.
All right. So do
you can wait on us.
So do you have any closing thoughts
for the first date?
I mean, well, you said you agree on that, but do you have any closing thoughts on what we talked about today is waiting till you get married?
You say always be prepared. I say be true to you. If waiting is something that is important to you and that is your deal breaker, steadfast with that. Don't let anyone change that. But if you know that it's not a deal breaker and certain things are important to you, be true to you. Go ahead and try some things a little bit. Not necessarily on the first date, but you can, get down on one of those dates if he's worthwhile. I said what I said. Solid.
So that's the first episode of FDK the Podcast that you're coming out. Hopefully we'll do a lot more in the future. We got some special podcasts coming up. I can't tell you what it is right now, but I promise you, when we start doing this special FDK for a special project coming up, you guys will absolutely love it. Going to give you guys some real good insight. We got a lot coming. Tune in next time. Remember, like, hate.
Either way, just comment.
Yeah, comment, share, do something. Let us know something, how you feel. And like I said, we will comment back. And hopefully we get to a point where we can start doing these live, which would be even more fun.
Actually.
Okay. All right. Holla back. I'm Corey, and this is Takeisha. Oh, okay. No, I'm Corey, this is Takeisha, and together we are Corey and Takeisha.
That part.
I like that. I'm Corey, this is Takeisha, and together we are Corey and Keisha, and thanks for watching FDK the Podcast. See you when you see it.
See y'all later.